Okay, good morning. It is early. I might have dog hair in my hair. Genesis has come out with a new competition arrow rest. It replaces the flimsy wire rest that breaks all the time and really slows down tournaments. So this is nice because it is nice and sturdy. Get a good picture. So there's my finger. That's the size of it. It does fit in snugly. Takes a little bit to get it completely in. You will definitely want to make sure that it's completely mounted or all the way into the slot. And when it does so, you will find that you can actually touch that. The other thing is where the wire rests, the whatever one, had only one a little connection or to go in the hole, whatever. This actually has two pegs that go in to hold it nice and secure. Does mean it's a little bit harder pressing it in all the way, especially on arthritic hands. But I ended up using a tap tool, like a set of pliers, and just gently tapped it all the way in, striking this area, this here, and I just tapped it slowly over and over again until it got completely snug and in place. But it is sturdy. So it doesn't, it's not going to move. There are some things I noticed that seem to be different. I believe that my daughter's bow might be right around the corner. So left and righty. Oh, there we go. You'll notice the resting position for the arrow is lower here, higher here. So the first thing I'm going to say is you are going to see a minor difference in your aiming point. Well, could be a major distance, but you're going to see a difference in your aim point because the competition rest will have the arrow sitting higher, which is going to change the angle. The other thing is while this would move and the fletching is always going to go across here, the fletching has a guide here. So if I put this on here, you'll see, get that angle right. Okay, the fletching has a guide to slip through without being interfered with. That's good. But in order for that to really have consistency, you're going to need to make sure, as far as coaches telling your students, if you're watching this, making sure that your fletchings are lined up. So again, when you knock your arrow, okay, you will need to make sure that you adjust by just doing a slight twist to make sure that fletching, I wonder if I can get that sight lining in here. Okay, you want to make sure you twist it to get that fletching where it lines up. If you end up knocking that way, you're going to hit this larger portion that comes out. You don't want to do that, so you will need to make sure, see, you'll end up pushing. This will push a lot more. So you will need to make sure that you line this up, you get that little twist so it moves through without any hit. This has always been an issue, even with the traditional one, but you always had a fletch moving across that wire, that metal. So it was always going to make some inconsistencies there. This avoids that, but it could end up being worse with this ridge coming out here This is what contacts the arrow. You will absolutely need to make sure that that fletch, that vein, does not interfere and is in the right position. So that will become increasingly important. So yes, this part is going to sit higher. So you might need to change your knock indicator to adjust for that. It might and practice, because it's going to be different. One thing I was noticing. So let me flip around. So as you see, I've got a measuring tape on the floor here. Yesterday practicing, and I'm just getting back to practicing with actually shooting with my hands. Medical condition that's been causing me a problem this last year with my hands. Previously, I was aiming at this level here, going across the lower black, and that was getting me right about this same level. Right now, when I'm standing at 10 meters and I've got this, meter measuring tape, visually in my sight, I see this edge. Really, I think I look at this flower on edge here, this pattern here in the carpet. That's where my arrow point goes, and this is where it was landing. You also notice that this is my home theater. So I literally have raised steps. So my target is 12 inches off the floor. This target's wrap is wrong, so it's off a few inches. So I don't know when we get to the gym and we're looking at a target at 10 meters. When I'm looking at a target that's at 10 meters and it's directly on the floor, I don't know how that arc might it'll affect my balance, because my, the cant that I have, the position of my body, my angles will be affected. But the grouping is really good. Just after a couple of tries to figure out, okay, what's it doing? What am I doing? Where do I need to change my, where I knock? Where do I need to change where I aim? But this grouping is nice and tight. It is a, well, let me see. If I start at 20, about a 7 to 8 centimeter grouping, or otherwise that's about a 3-inch group. Right there. Now, if I get my aim, and if I'm looking at the target, what is that? You've got 2 inches for the 10 spot. So that center ring is 2 inches, and right now I'm at a 3-inch grouping. My grouping with the previous rust was probably about 5 inches. So I'm instantly seeing a reduction about 2 inches in my grouping. Once I figured out where I needed to aim and adjust, it's a good grouping. I think you can have a lot of consistency by switching over. Well, yeah, consistency. So again, I think the first thing you can see with this competition rust is use it correctly. Make sure that your arrows with the fletchings are lined up to go through that slot correctly. Not going to be interrupting with the brace or with the or hitting any part of the rest itself. So making sure that angle is correct. Adjust where your aim point is. Maybe adjust your knock, or your knock indicator, and just practice with it. I think you can probably see some instant improvement on your shooting and your consistency immediately. Remember, when you're doing this, 5 arrows all aimed at the same place. Find out where your grouping is. Make sure you're consistent in everything else. Then when you see, okay, I'm actually doing these things to adjust for this competition arrow rest, then you say, okay, my grouping's the same. Then now you know your grouping's the same. You're doing everything else the same on the back end. Now change where your aim point is and adjust your aim point. Remember, if you're aiming here and it's hitting here and you need to move over, then your aim needs to come down that way. Okay, so you shift in the opposite. So if it's up here that's hitting, but you're trying to hit here, well, then you move that opposite. Now you're aiming here, and now it should hit here. So I think that first off, definitely sturdier. Definitely not going to have it break so quickly. Not going to have the incidents that you see in competition where it, all of a sudden, whether that little covers flew off, whether it's that this starts getting flimsy and moving. This is going to instantly eliminate all those problems. Definitely a positive. Definitely worth the $20. I think when I talked to Kentucky Gun Company the other day, they didn't even know about it. Ops Supply has a post asking about it, and they did not have them in stock yet. They're needing to order. You can order it directly from Genesis. It only takes a few days. I think I ordered Monday when I saw the release, maybe Tuesday. They released it on social media. I turned around, ordered it, and today's Thursday, so yesterday it got here Wednesday. So they got it here, Wisconsin to Kentucky. No problem there, but definitely worth it. I think we'll see a lot of improvements in our archers and a lot less frustration at tournaments when it breaks. I hate seeing that one person who has it break, and they're like, great, now everybody's waiting on me. And then their entire tournament from that point forward is shot mentally because they were thinking, yeah, I just screwed up, and I'm the one who is delaying everything. I'm the one. Look, the arrow rest broke. These things break. They'll be perfectly fine. The next thing you know, they'll flop. This will eliminate that. That will eliminate the frustration from the kids. So I definitely would say get them and replace. Get your students to get them, replace them, and go with that. Start training on these now. Before you start getting to tournament, because you will need to make some changes. They will need to learn how to adapt to the differences here. And again, focus on making sure that angle for the fletchings is in the right place, and make the adjustments here for the string and then the aim. So yeah, good product. Love to see that because I don't like those little flimsy wires. Okay, thank you.